What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're coming out with a new series. This is going to be me going over the Shard of Faith and Dark and Light from square one. I've currently got a character that's already up and going, but I really wanted to bring you guys new content instead of using something that was already pre-existing and you guys would have a gap to fill there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start a new character, and it's going to be on one of my servers that I have up and running. If you guys would like to join the server, please feel free to do so. The server links will be down below in the description. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video to stay up to date on all of these videos that are going to be coming out in this series. I haven't really come up with a name for these series, but I'm sure I'll come up with something when I go to title this. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to do a series of leveling in Dark and Light. On my servers, I do have a 5x speed tame rate and XP rate, just because the XP gains when you're going through, they do take quite a while, and to fit all of this on episodes, I felt that there should be a multiplier on this. So without further ado, let's jump into this. Let's get a game going and we shall start. Yes, there we go. So I will have to restart a new character. So we're gonna go ahead and trigger death. We died. Oh well. So I always like going to the southern outpost. I don't know about anybody else, but that's typically where I like to create a new player. Now, attention, new characters will lose all information from the previous characters. Yes, this is okay. Now, so we have our three factions. Now, one thing to note about these factions is if you have friends that you want to play with, you all have to be the same faction. As of right now, there is no way to create a house together with multiple factions. So, if you want to play together with your friends, make sure you choose the right faction and you guys all play together as the same faction. So, the three factions that you have is Vardo, Estelle, and Zahul. Now, Vardo is for the humans, Estelle is for the elves, and Zahul is for the dwarves. I have always liked the elves personally in any game that I've ever played, so I will be going with the Estelle. And we're going to go ahead and hit next. One thing that I do want to show you guys is the template system. So you can hit the templates that you've saved, and it will just apply the stats of those particular characters that you had created. It does not modify their sex or gender, so you will need to recreate which gender that you want. So I'm going to go as a male. This is my elf. I'm going to go ahead and start the game as this character. I do want to say that the character creation screen could be a little bit better. And when I say that, I just mean that some of these stats that you create are pretty unrealistic. So like if we go to head and we adjust the size, you can literally make these characters pretty hilarious. So we're gonna go with like that. We're gonna go with massive hands, massive upper arms, waist. We can do massive waist or massive hip, little waist, little depth, and extreme height. And for our legs, well, we're gonna put them at short as they'll go, as thick as they'll go, as thick as the shins will go, and as big as the feet will go. So you can make the characters pretty hilarious, if you ask me. Even the expression on this guy is like, dude, what are you doing? No, don't make me look like this. So we're gonna go with the template of a normal looking dude, and we're gonna start this game. And of course, we're gonna name him Demon Angel with a 9. So let's get to it. Now, a couple of things that I want to go over right when we get into the game is your surroundings. So as you notice, you've got some items on the right and you've got an item on the left. So the item on your left actually just tells you your level. You've got your hot bar down in the middle, and then off to the right hand side where it looks like a stomach, you've guessed it, that's your hunger. The lightning bolt is your stamina. The water drops is for your thirst, and the big dumbbell looking thing is the weight. You also have a brain and a book. The brain is for your focus, and this is how tired you are. And the book is for your mana. And then the big giant red bar at the bottom next to the heart is of course your health bar. And another thing to note is the temperature gauge off to the right hand side, and that just tells you the temperature of your surroundings, and the temperature of your surroundings will affect you. So if you're way too hot, it will thirst you down pretty quickly, and if you're cold, it will draw out your hunger.
What can I do for you?
Another thing to note is there is a public campfire here, so if you need to cook some meat, you can throw it in here and it does not require any fuel, which is very nice. We've also got a public ducket, which is a well that allows you to drink water to replenish your thirst, and as well as a meal table, which you can eat at for free. It does not take up any food in your inventory, even if there is food in your inventory. There's also a bonfire here that does increase your health regen. It is best suited that you actually have your hunger and thirst topped off when over here, because it will increase the level at which your health will regain. So now that we've gone over a few basics of the game, let's go ahead and go over a couple of quick tips. So when accessing your inventory, this hotbar is automatically known as I, goes straight to your inventory. I for inventory, very easy to remember. And we have our inventory here. We have our health, attack, mana, constitution. And constitution is how long you can last before you get knocked out. When you get knocked out, you go unconscious, and anything that is around you can attack you openly and without consequence. And when I say without consequence, I mean you can't attack them. You are literally down for the count, and they can do whatever they want. So we've also got our stamina, food, focus, weight, and water. You guessed it, you can increase those stats as you level up. Now when you get a level up, you get 2 points. You can apply 1 point to your combat stats and 1 point to your survival stats. Now on most servers, you'll notice that if they have vanilla settings, your weight will only start off at 100. I have this mapped up a little bit higher on my server, as well as the XP rate, just simply because I don't feel that I would want to watch a video over some guy leveling a character for hours upon hours upon hours. Also, another thing that you can do in this town is you can run around punching barrels to gain money, and you can also see that I gained an apple earlier. Try not to hit the little pokey spikes, as they will damage you, and if you hit them too much, well, then you'll just die. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's start going through these quests. Let's get this character leveled up so that way we can start recovering some better topics. Now, as you saw there, I was punching things. I got some experience, so let's go ahead and apply those skill points, shall we? Now I usually start off going with attack and stamina, because the attack also affects your gathering rate. It affects how much you gather at one time. And of course, stamina is how many times you can do that, so you obviously want to get that up so that way you don't have to take breaks in between your gathering rates, and your breaks can just be more or less used in between the items that you run to actually gather from. So let's go ahead and get these quests started. We're going to go press O, as the little lady on the left says. Press O to access the quest screen. So we're going to press the quest screen, and we're going to look at Archaeos' Adventurer. So we have 1 out of 21 quest progress, and all you have to do to accept this is hit the little button that says task begins, and then she's going to go over a little thing, and then we can start going in and getting these done.
First, you must learn to harvest what you need from your surroundings in order to survive. Find some bushes, trees, or even some barrels and strike them to gather useful items.
Alright, let's get to it. So, first thing on the list, we need to gather some berries, we need to gather some magic shards, and we need to harvest some straw. So you can do this by punching bushes. Lots and lots of bushes. Now it is a little bit dark, so this is not ideal, and it is raining on top of that, as well as foggy. So vision is blurred. We're probably going to be a little bit colder. Yep, 46 degrees. You can see the little frost bolt over there. Yeah, and it's dark, so you can't even see if enemies are coming up on you. So let's go ahead, jump into our inventory, because we've got all of our stuff gathered up, And let's craft a Rune of Light, shall we? So we've crafted our Rune of Light. We're going to craft a couple more just because we're going to use these all the way through endgame. So we're going to need plenty of them. So we're going to hit the little equal button that we threw it up on the hotbar. And that's going to summon us Tinkerbell. Hi, Tinkerbell. Alright, so Tinkerbell, as you can see, gives you plenty of light to see in your surroundings. And we can grab some more items that we can see around us, because we're going to be needing them here very shortly. Alright, so we've got some more stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. More and more stuff. Yes, you guessed it. This game is all about hoarding as many mats as possible, because at the very end of the game, when you start crafting some of the larger things like airships and stuff, you're going to need as many mats as possible. Now I'm going to die. Or am I going to die? So, if you get poisoned with the skull and bones, don't move, don't attack anything, and hopefully you won't die. Because as you notice, it dropped my health down pretty quickly. So, we're going to wait out these seconds. I'll probably do a fast forward here. That way you guys don't have to sit here and watch me just sit still and avoid death. Guess I can probably craft an axe instead. So, we'll go ahead and craft an axe. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. Can we craft? We can craft. We just can't do anything else. So, we crafted. We got ourselves a stone axe. We leveled up. Let's go ahead, increase our... Wow, 1 health. That's hilarious. So we've increased our attack, and we're going to go ahead and increase our stamina as well. And we're going to equip the stone axe, as well as the pants that we got as a reward for completing part of that task. So, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright. So, since I were running solo on health, we don't want that to happen again. So, we're going to run over here. We're going to eat at this meal table. And I'm going to show you how this thing over here works. Alright, so we should be getting a lot more health back a lot quicker now. Come up here, you can see our health is regenning. And we can probably go ahead and just eat one of these. This will help heal you. And we're going to grab another one. And, well, we might as well just eat the last one too. So, alright, here we go. We're going to get stone from a rock with our stone axe. And we're also going to get wood from a tree with a stone axe. So, here we go. Alright, so we've got our wood. Now we just need to grab our stone. And then we'll be on to the next task. Alright, so... now that we've got that, now it wants us to eat some berries, so we'll grab the berries as well as the apples. And if I had the meat, I'd throw it down there too. But as you can see, when you take things off of your out of your inventory into your hotbar, they actually stay there. So when you actually run out of these items, as you'll see here in a second, I'm going to eat all these apples, and oh look, they're all gone. But if you come back over here and you hit this tree to get some more apples. Well, not that tree. That tree was done. So, we'll come over here. So that tree was not an apple tree, apparently. Ah, there we go. This one was. So, when you gather more of that type of item, it will automatically throw it back on your hotbar. So, let's eat some berries while we're doing this, so that we get that quest done. And now we need to craft a primitive staff, also known as a sorcerer's staff, and a magic extraction staff head. So, we'll go ahead and craft one of these guys. And then it's going to unlock that. So then we can... wow, that was really fast. And we got boots. Awesome. So, let's go ahead and throw that on our bar and throw that over there. So, now we can use our first spell. So, the way we do this is we actually just walk up to something and we just click on it. And you want to click and hold, and it's going to start draining that particular item or that resource. So when you're using the staff head, you can see that we're getting magic shards pretty frequently. This is the best method to gather magic shards, unless you want to go PvP and raid people's bases and take all of theirs, so that way you don't have to do all the work, which is what I currently prefer. This is the best way to get magic shards, which you'll be using a ton of when you get into magic crafting. So let's go ahead and increase our stamina again and our attack again. I usually typically do this through the first 5 to 10 levels, and then I start working on some other items. Since I have the weight modified a little bit on my server, I typically don't mess with weight, as some of the other knowledge tasks that you get will actually increase your other stats. So if we go through here and we look at the light magic, currently we are at rank 1, and when we hit rank 1 we actually got stat bonus focus +3. So every time you level up this particular skill, you get more and more, and at the very end you get a nice chunk of 24 focus. So different ones give different things, like water magic gives you more bonuses to your thirst and to your heat resist, which is very nice, and you'll use that a lot when you go over into different areas where the temperatures are much hotter. So if we look over at earth magic, this is one of the skills that actually helps level up your weight, and when that levels up, then you can carry more. So keep in mind that all these skills that you're doing, if you're looking for a character build of some sort, different skills will give you different stats. And don't worry, if you mess something up, you can always change it later with a stat reset potion. However, when you do that, please be aware that it probably will knock you out and you might die. So I typically take all my items out except for what's not gatherable and put it all in a toolbox or a chest or a closet or whatever you want to put it in that can hold items. And then I'll press the button and click on the stat reset potion, and then it will reset all of my stats and I can go through and do them all at once. Typically I do this when I hit level 60 and I get some other stats leveled up, and then I can kind of go from there and see what stats that I really need to do the higher level quest tiered. Alright, so now it wants us to eat flowers, and the reason why we're going to eat flowers is because this will actually help restore some of our mind and mana. Not that we're out of mana by any means, but it will help us not be quite as tired. So now to move on to the next role, we need to upgrade our melee knowledge to rank 2. Now, if you're like me and you constantly forget what you need to do to rank up certain items or certain skills, I always just press K, or K is what I usually have it hotkeyed as. K defaults to calling your pets. So I like to personally go through and redo some of my item keys or my hotkeys to I, K, T, and just because to me it makes more sense to have it as K, because then I can just hit that and I come right in here and I don't have to hit another button. But needless to say, if you forget what you need to do, just come in here, go over to melee, and then this nice little question mark over here, you don't even have to click on it. All you have to do is hover over it. It will tell you how to gain this knowledge or grow this knowledge. And so what we need to do for melee is we need to collect stone, craft tools, or craft weapons. So I like to move over these and go over the items that I'm going to be unlocking as well, because chances are they're going to be on the next task, and I'm going to want to craft those right away instead of having to constantly gather mats all the time every time I get a new quest. So let's go ahead and go gather some twine, wood, and stone, because both of these items are going to take wood and stone and twine. So here we go. Wow, we leveled that up real quick. So we've got our iron stone sword and our stone pickaxe. We're just going to go ahead and finish this rock off. Alright, so now we can craft our stone sword and our stone pickaxe. And we're going to go ahead and apply our attack and our stamina. Now, after this, I believe we're going to need to gather a lot of items. So I typically like to keep my staff in 4 and my other items as 1, 2, and 3. Now, usually I keep my stone sword or my iron swords or my melee weapons in general is usually 3, and I can just switch back and forth fairly easily. So For this next quest, it wants us to harvest sulfur from rocks with a pickaxe, harvest twine from trees with a sword, and harvest flowers from a bush with a sword. So, here we go. Let's get to it. So we've got our axe. Well, that's not what it wants. It wants a pickaxe. So we'll grab the pickaxe. We'll go over here, and we'll get some sulfur. Okay, that's done. Now we need to equip the sword, so we'll hit number 3, and we'll go get some twine. And we need to gather some flowers from a bush. So, here's a bush. Here's another one. Alright, should be about done. And now it wants us to harvest sulfur to gain fire knowledge experience. And after we gain this, we should unlock another spell. Oh no, I'm hungry. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and instead of wasting food that we currently have in our inventory, we're gonna go ahead and walk back over. Now, as you can see, we are extremely hungry. We're starving literally to death. So you can see that we're actually dropping in health, and we're not walking as fast because our stamina is gone. So we'll go ahead and eat at this table. And you only have to press E once to eat, and he will continue eating until he's just fat and happy. So, there we go. Our hunger is completely filled. We'll go ahead and top off our water supply here. And you can see that our health is starting to regenerate. I'm not going to worry about standing over there because I'm not going to be fighting anything anytime soon. And so, we don't need to focus on that. We just need to focus on getting our fire magic rank up. And to do that, we need to be harvesting sulfur. Now, one thing to look out for while you're out here is on the shard of face, sometimes when you're breaking open rocks, sometimes some of the scarabs will come out and they will attack you. I usually try to kill these because they give me pretty decent XP, especially in the very beginning, and they have some valuable stuff that's inside of them as well that you can utilize later on in the game. Another thing to watch out for are little trophies. Different ones can be unlocked and opened up at different levels, but there are trophies placed around the map that you can open up and they will give you lots and lots of goodies. Now you do have to be careful because sometimes these things will poison you, and you still get the items, which is great, but you have to be careful because sometimes you'll die. So, be mindful of that. Alright, fire magic is rank 2 now. We can craft our fireball staff head. It's one of my favorites. Alright, so let's go ahead and craft one of these bad boys, and while we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and level up our health and our stamina, and we're going to go ahead and put on this shirt because we're tired of being shirtless. Alright, so now that we got more armor, we did that. We also got our Frostbolt staff head, which we actually cannot make yet, but we've still got it. So, as you notice, I put these two spells on my hotbar because I don't want to replace this one yet, because we still might want to use it. So, keep in mind what number you actually place these on your hotbar as, because when I go to press 8, you'll see that it just automatically equips my Fireball staff head, and it places the other one that I currently had, which is the Drain spell, onto my hotbar so I can select it at another time. And when we, of course, grab out our staff, you can see that we actually get a different item that actually fits in there, and it does glow quite nicely. So we'll go ahead and go through this. There's our fireball, there's the frost, And there's our drain spell. I really like these emotes. I think they look pretty sweet. So now we actually have to go kill a creature, harvest meat from it, and then we'll probably start cooking it. So, when you are low level and you're looking to kill a creature,
How are you today?
one thing that I highly suggest is using the Frostbolt staff head. Now, I know I said we can't create these right now, but we will be able to later, which means that we can probably repair them later, so we can go ahead and use them up. And while I'm thinking about it, we need to cover repairing. So, as you can see, down in the bottom, we have little health bars on our items. Now, we can actually repair these on the fly. Some things you can, some things you can't. You just have to look. If it is able to be crafted in your inventory, you can repair it on site. So, let's go ahead and drag these guys out of our hotbar. We're going to throw them into our inventory. And I usually start with whatever's the most important and repair it first, especially if I don't have a ton of mats, but I should have enough mats for all of these to repair all three. So we'll go ahead and hit the repair button on there, we'll hit the repair button on there, and we'll hit the repair button on there. And as you can see, it goes through and it just repairs all of our items with the mats that we currently had. Now I do want to notate that the repair cost is significantly lower than the creation cost. So it is always better to go ahead and keep your weapons and repair them instead of throwing them away and just creating something new. So, when you are a low level and you're wanting to kill something, I like to kill things when they can't come attack me. So, for instance, that overseer can't get to me because I've frozen them. That is one of the perks of having the frostbolt. Alright, so we've killed that one because he couldn't move. And we'll go ahead and harvest meat from it. Alright, so we have completely completed that task. Now that is our first task, and that is going to be the end of this series. Or not this series, man, that would be a short series, wouldn't it? That is going to be the end of this episode, guys. I am going to go ahead and sign off for now, but I will keep you guys updated with the gameplay, and I will see y'all next time. This is Demon Angel signing off. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that like button. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I can improve my content to you guys. What would you guys like to see in the future? Let me know down below in the comments or send me a message in Discord. Links to the website and Discord and all of my servers will be posted below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.